Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Guard Up Knicks podcast. I'm your host, Regular Joe, here with the Cuzzo Rick the Ruler,
What up, y'all?
as the Knicks fall to the Miami Heat, 108-101, and relinquish home court in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. How you feeling, Ricky?
Man, when the Knicks win, I get all kinds of text messages and phone calls congratulating me. And then when they lose, I get a lot of condolences and a lot of doubt that tries to sneak in there. But man, I don't feel too bad about this loss. I think it was pretty obvious what the problem was. They missed a lot of open shots, and they were missing Julius Randle. So I feel like if we can clean up our shots, get Julius back, I still say Knicks in 6.
Yeah, I still say Knicks in 6. It's just disappointing. The looks that they got today, and continue to just have this grind where they can't make shots in the postseason. It's a bit frustrating. To shoot even worse today than they shot in the Cleveland series.
Exactly.
You're coming off a Cleveland series where they shot 27% from three. Tonight they shoot 20% from three. And people keep saying that it'll average out, but I mean, when it starts to average out, like, are they going to be down 2-0, 3-0? Like, when are shots going to start to go in? Because they're going to have to make some against this Heat team.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they didn't shoot great tonight, but they made enough. They shot 33%, but I mean, 33%, 20%.
Yeah.
I don't need to. Yeah, there's no need to explain which one I'm taking.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Knicks just got to shoot it better, man.
I mean, the first 2 games of the Cavs series, we didn't shoot that well. We did not shoot that well. And if you look at tonight, we only lost by what, 7 points?
7.
So if we step up our shooting percentage, I don't see how they're losing. You know what I mean? What was the what was, you said the percentages for 3-point shots?
20% they shot tonight.
20%. And how many did they
take? They were 7 for 34.
Exactly. That's not who we are. So, I mean, maybe it was the beginning of a series. We had to get a little of the rust off, but I think we're going to bounce back real nice, despite what the chat says.
I think so too, but it's just, I don't know. Well, the chat is,
yeah, we're getting spammed right now.
Oh yeah, definitely getting spammed. Definitely getting spammed. But it's one game. You can have that. It's the playoffs. It's the playoffs. You're gonna lose games.
Exactly.
Hopefully we get Julius back for game 2. But yeah, it's just overall just a disappointing. Like, just the way they lost, the shooting, the lack of shooting. I sent you the screenshot of, like, literally all 5 Heat players standing in the paint, and Brunson kicks it out, and there's Josh Hart there in the corner.
Yeah.
And Josh Hart, the 3 that he shot on that possession, he wasn't even close.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just look at it, right? So, I mean, Obi Toppin, a decent night from 3, decent game overall. 18 points, 8 rebounds. He was actually he was the only starter who wasn't a negative plus minus. He was a 0 basically. He was a neutral. But 18 points, 1 steal, 8 rebounds, 4 of 11 from 3, not terrible at all. 7 of 15 from the field. But then you look down the list, and it's Brunson 0 for 7.
Yeah.
Josh Hart 0 for 4. RJ Barrett 1 for 5. Quickly 1 for 4. Grimes 1 for 3.
Yeah.
I mean, Obi hit more than half our threes.
Yeah. He's good for that shot though. Like I feel like he really wants to make a statement with that corner three, but he hit a couple straight on 3-point shots too.
Yeah,
So
he did.
he was feeling it. But
Yeah,
we needed
but
him to get those 18 points. So I mean, I don't think I was expecting much more from him out of that, but he did all right.
and I'm just going off of like things that I've seen, online since the game is over. And people are saying stuff like, Tibbs needs to make adjustments. And I'm just like, I guess maybe, but like at the same time, like players got to perform too.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the Heat, like, and this is not even me, like, this is not even hyperbole. Like the Heat literally stopped guarding the 3-point line.
Mm,
and and the Knicks didn't make them pay.
exactly.
So as a coach, like how do you combat that? Like at some point, your guys got to make shots for you to look somewhat good, right? In order for a
Yeah.
coach to look good, the players still do have to perform. He could come up with whatever game plan he wants to, and it could be
Exactly.
brilliant. But players got to perform. Players got to make shots. And I just read off all of the numbers. Like nobody made more than 1 3 outside of Obi.
Yeah.
Brunson shot 41% during the season. He was 0 for 7 tonight.
Yeah, that's why I'm not worried about him. He's good for those.
So yeah, that's I mean,
He's good for those. But like I said, man, Knicks in 6. Like I just feel that the Heat played a little bit longer in their series than we did, and we had a little bit of a rest. So sometimes we got to get a little bit of that rest off, and then we have to see exactly what their defense is giving us. Let's not forget we played them 4 times in the regular season, and out of
mhm,
those 4 times, I believe we got 3
we
of
beat
those
him 3
wins.
times. Yeah,
So I'm not worried about the series. I know playoff basketball is different, but we don't have our main guy in there. We had his backup in there scoring 18 points. I mean, like I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about
I'm also
it.
the
And if we look
just
at the Golden State Warriors, they just went game 7. You know what I mean? So if they could pull it off, and they were down 2-1, I believe. If they could pull it
they're
off,
down
like
they're down 2-0. They went
yeah,
down 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah,
I don't think their fans were like, oh, it's
but
over. You know what I
but
mean? It's
but
just one game.
but to be fair, they didn't they were down 2-0, but they didn't have home court advantage. That's so you
Mm,
know what I mean? Like
yeah,
Sacramento did. So, you know, the Knicks obviously they gave up their home court advantage today. They got to win this next one and then go to Miami and try to get that home court advantage back.
exactly.
I expect them to though.
We're a better road team this season anyway. So I mean, one of the I think one of the most special games that we played was in Miami, where Julius hit that 3 at the end of the game. I mean, like we play well on the road, so I'm not really worried.
Yeah, I'm looking at Dante.
I know. He
He's
you gotta
he's
you gotta
taking
not do
he's
that.
taking he's taking my words and making
Twisting them.
them
Yeah,
bigger.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't worried about that.
RJ Barrett, man, what'd you think of RJ today?
First half, great. Second half, I feel like the fourth quarter he was doing exactly what he did during the regular season. I don't feel like he was actually trying to score. He was more trying to get a foul to go to the line. And I don't like it, but at the same time, if you're gonna get the foul, you got to make the foul shots. You can't go one for
Yeah,
two. I mean, you got to make them count. Make them
yeah.
not foul you. Like they don't feel
He
bad fouling you because they know you're not going to hit your foul shots.
he was 5 of 8 tonight from the line. So I mean, it's so hard to criticize him though, right?
He played
Especially
well.
tonight
Yeah, he played
because
well. He played well
uh,
postseason in general.
you look
I'm
at the
surprised at
overall numbers. Yeah, like you look at the overall numbers tonight: 27 points, 7 assists, 9 rebounds, like in a steal. Like that's a game. When he turned it over 4 times, a lot of those came late in the fourth. I mean, a lot of bad stuff happened late in that game. Like
yes,
not even late, like specifically the second half overall. Like Brunson started turning it over.
Yeah,
RJ started turning it over. The Knicks started turning it over.
yeah,
Like it wasn't pretty. And then we talked about the three. So one thing that I was confused about is that like the Heat were basically like daring the Knicks to take and make threes, right?
yeah.
I'm I don't know what happens if he's in the game or not, but like at some point, how do you not put Quentin Grimes in the game? You know what I mean?
I think he had a lot of rust to get off. Also, remember he's coming off of an injury.
I know, but I just feel like in theory, I don't even think it's in theory. He's your best shooter, right? Like as far as like spotting up and hitting threes, I just don't understand how the Heat were basically saying, "Go ahead and make a three if you can." And Tibbs is just he's got his guy on the bench and he only plays 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Like, come on,
he
man.
just got off an injury though, man. You don't. I
So
mean,
you think it was more of he wasn't prepared to play more minutes?
I think they were
Or
just
is this
watching
just
his minutes. Yeah, they were watching his minutes.
okay?
He could have said
It's,
something to the coach. I mean, like we don't know all the inner workings, but like he's back, so we know that we have that. But you don't want to
yeah,
overuse him, and then he gets injured again, and then we can't use him at all. That's why
yeah,
I'm glad they didn't play Julius Randle today. I'm glad that he's still recovering because we need him. If he goes back in, hurts himself, and then we don't get him for the rest of the series, that's all
yeah,
she
it's,
wrote. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So I
So
get it.
she wrote,
It's fine. We lost by 7. If it was like a blowout, I understand. The I think the highest lead that Miami had was 10.
yeah.
So it wasn't like we got dragged in this match.
So let's talk about what I think was the most important sequence of the game.
Go
I
for it.
thought that this was basically game set match. You probably know where I'm going with this. So let me make sure I see it right. So the Heat call timeout, I believe, at 5:05 left in the game. Miami calls timeout. Jimmy Butler sprains the ankle. Uh, he steps up, makes both free throws,
Yeah.
extends the lead to 97-92. Brunson comes down, hits a floater, cuts it to 4. No, cuts it to 3. I'm sorry. Then to me, this was like one of the biggest shots of the game. Gabe Vincent comes back, hits a 3, extends the lead to 194. And then after that, it's just fuckery,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like Kyle Lowry ties up Jalen Brunson. It's a jump ball. Uh, then I think RJ Barrett comes down, gets his
He
shot
tried
blocked.
to he tried to
Um, then RJ Barrett offensive foul. That was on the screen.
yeah.
Then RJ Barrett turnover.
Yes.
Right?
He tried to get the foul on that one too.
He called timeout. Kyle Lowry hits another shot. It was a tough shot on the baseline. Extends the lead to 10. That's the 10-point lead you're talking about. But the fuckery continues for the Knicks, right?
Yeah.
Very next possession, RJ Barrett turnover. Like, bro, it just got crazy after that. Like the Knicks just started kicking the ball around.
Yeah.
The Heat weren't really making any shots after that, but they didn't have to. They only scored 4 points after that. But
That's right.
there was just so many turnovers and just it got
Yeah.
down to a minute left. But those like 3 or 4 possessions, the
We
Kyle
did it to
Lowry jump
ourselves.
ball, yeah, the
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry jump ball where Jalen Brunson is doing what Knicks fans said that they should do is to drive into oblivion where everybody's at. Because that's what Tim should tell them to do because they shouldn't shoot wide open threes that are available to them. So Barrett and Brunson started doing what Knicks fans said they should do and driving into 5 guys in the paint. And well, we see what happened. So
But see,
all
if
these
we
all these armchair coaches, shout out to you.
I don't hate it because like you said, the picture that you showed, all 5 of the Miami Heat was in the paint. and we had everybody around the perimeter. Anybody that was around the perimeter were capable of hitting that 3-point shot. We just did not hit it. Like
Yeah.
in an alternate world, and I hate doing this, but like if we had hit those, it would be a different game. The defense would have been spread out a little bit because they were locking up Jalen Brunson. They were locking
Yeah.
him up, and that's not happening if Julius is in the game. So I hate the ifs and all that, what ifs, and this is how
One
everything
thing I
played out right now.
one thing I think is very important is like with Julius out, that allows Bam to kind of chill, right? Because you figure Bam's gonna play on, he's gonna guard Julius a lot,
Yeah,
and with Julius not there, Bam could kind of relax and guard Mitchell Robinson.
yeah,
And I just feel like them, because what would happen is Kevin Love would have to guard Mitchell Robinson, right? So you got a huge size advantage on the glass, even though Kevin Love is great at boxing out and grabbing rebounds and stuff. You still like that matchup if you're a Knicks fan.
yeah,
And we've seen Julius score on Bam, right? It's
yeah.
not like something that's impossible for him to do.
Right.
So yeah, you
He
just
likes the physicality,
it's
so
so
yeah,
much better, bro. It's so much better. Everything makes so much more sense when Julius is in the lineup, especially against this team
exactly.
where Bam can't just roam and play free safety, you know? So it's getting Julius back is important. It's imperative. Knicks fans that said that we're better off without him. I
I
mean,
don't know. Those aren't fans then. How can you be a fan of the
I,
Knicks and then think that we're better without Julius Randle? Were they watching the games? Did they see the season? I just I don't understand.
listen,
I need
there
an
are some good
explanation.
things. There's some good things without Julius, right? Um, Obviously they play a little faster, right? Which we've seen in the first half, especially.
Yeah,
Like
but
they got up and down.
Julius don't slow the team down. When there's if
Yeah,
everybody else
but
runs, we
I
good.
agree with that. I agree with that. But we also when Obi's in there, like the pace quickens.
Yeah,
Right? It's evident.
it's
Like
true.
it's a little bit faster.
Yeah,
Like when Julius is in there, it's more of a half court. The Knicks play more half court offense. When like it's when that bench comes in, like the
yeah.
way the bench is supposed to be with Josh Hart coming off the
Yep.
bench, wink wink Tibbs, right? And they come in and they that tempo ups with quickly and Hart and tapping, it's a
Yeah,
different team.
yeah.
It's literally a different team.
It is.
So
It shakes the defense up.
that's why I like the five starters that we had all season. You know what I mean? And for
Yeah,
those guys, those four guys to come in with insert whatever other starters out there with them, to me, it just works so much better. But I mean, I hope that this was just a one time thing. I hope it's like you said, they didn't feel good about the Grimes playing big minutes tonight. And hopefully, some point in this series, Grimes will be back in the starting lineup and we could get Hart running circles around bench guys again.
yeah. Because our second team really was the heart of the team. I don't think there's anyone that calls himself a fan that would say any different. I mean, I think that's why they say we can do without Julius Randle, but it's not true. It's not true. Julius Randle, like I was looking at the Cavs game with some recap, and Julius Randle was literally just pushing everybody out of the way. There was nobody physical enough to deal with
Yeah,
him.
yo, bro. And that game five, he came out like a monster in that
Yeah,
first quarter, bro.
yeah. And I was
Like he
laughing, and
was,
I was just like, yo, they got nothing for this guy. And like you said, Bam is usually the one that would have to guard him because they don't got nobody else to
yeah,
guard Julius like that. So with him in the game, it changes the game. Even if he doesn't score, and he
absolutely.
will though, but even if he doesn't score, just his presence alone will change the defense, will change the offense. And and if you watch Julius, he loves kicking out to the shooter. So even if he's
Mm-hmm.
not scoring, he's passing it to the open man who's gonna knock down the 3-point shot. Now
Well, in theory,
we gotta knock down the 3-point shot in order for it to work, which I think is really what killed us tonight, plus the turnovers in the fourth. But I mean, I'm not
the thing that makes me
I'm not
nervous,
worried.
bro,
I'm not
the thing that
worried.
makes me nervous a little bit is, and it's something that when we had before the playoffs, when we did our preview and we had Just Blaze on,
Yeah.
one of the things we talking about like biggest concerns that I had with the Knicks. We all talked about our biggest concerns with the Knicks. And my one biggest concern was like how hot and cold they could get, right? From
Mm-hmm.
three. The
Yeah.
thing that's bothering me more than anything is like they've been like it's been all cold. It hasn't been hot and cold. Like they're shooting below 30%
Yeah.
for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering when it's coming, right? Like we gotta have a game where and I'm thinking it's gonna be game two. I
Me
really
too.
hope and I really
Has to.
believe it'll be game two
I know
where
they're kicking
they just
themselves right
finally
now.
make some shots, bro.
Yeah, I know they're kicking themselves right now, saying, "Yo, I got to do better in this game," and they're gonna come out, and you're gonna see.
Did you see Brunson?
I didn't see the post. You talking about the post game
So
interview?
yeah,
Nah, I
so
didn't
they
see that.
asked him about, what basically what happened and what went wrong. And he was just like, I was horrific
Mm.
was the word was the word he
Yeah,
used to describe the way
it's
he
true.
played.
It's true
Yeah, like
because
if you look
some of
at
the
the
shots that he
numbers,
missed, he usually knocks those down easy.
yes, absolutely, bro. Like he had some wide open threes.
Yeah,
And he had one go in and out. It was like the first one he shot in the first quarter. I think it was the first three he shot. It went in and out. But he also had a couple that weren't even close, bro. Like the Knicks shot some threes tonight where I was just like, whoa. Like they shot some bricks, bro.
yeah,
The one Josh Hart shot one where, I mean, that the one from the corner, the
mm.
screenshot that I
Yeah,
sent,
yeah,
right? That shot, like it just barely hit the front of the rim.
yeah.
Like they
Came
just
down.
Mitchell Robinson shooting air balls from the line. It's
Yeah,
just it's not good, bro.
yeah. It wasn't good. It wasn't pretty, but I feel like that's okay. It's game one, and
Yeah.
we gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. Like what was I gonna
So
say? No, go ahead, because I can't even remember what I was about
now
to
I was
say.
gonna ask you, like, what do you think? What do you think that they need to do moving forward to like, get a win in game two specifically?
Nothing, nothing. They don't have to do anything different.
Just make shots.
Just make shots.
Yeah, I
Again,
have
we
I
lost
kind of
by
agree with that.
7. We lost by 7. If we hit
Yeah,
what, um, 3 additional 3-point shots,
which is not like a
is
crazy
that
ask.
crazy? Exactly.
That makes
It's a
you
win.
10 for 30, makes you 10 for 34, which is
Yeah,
still terrible.
and it's a win
But
against this team
yeah,
tonight. So I mean, nothing. Get your like they just need to don't overthink it. Get their confidence back and play Knicks basketball. What they've been doing
yeah.
all season, which got them here. So I'm not, I don't. I mean, what do you think they need to change, if anything?
I think they need to make some shots, bro. Like it really comes. I don't know what else to say.
Exactly.
And I mean, I guess
So Tibbs
I
don't
mean
have to make any adjustments.
Miami didn't exactly shoot the lights out. I
Yeah.
guess if you want to say they got it, there was a few plays where I felt like they kind of got lost on like 3-point shooters. It was one play in particular with Obi, and it's crazy because you seen his face like as the pass goes over his head, he makes a face like, oh fuck, because he knows that where
Yeah.
he was standing, he'll never get to the
To
cup
where the
to the
ball.
corner and
Yeah.
recover. And I believe it was Kevin Love that was camping out in the corner,
Yeah.
and he hit a
And
three.
he got money there.
So I guess those are some of the things that we need to clean up. The turnovers, obviously, uh, a lot of the turnovers came late, like where the Knicks kind of really lost their poise, I guess,
Hmm.
a little bit.
Yeah, I got a
That's
text
something
saying
that
they fell apart, and maybe that's true.
that's something that needs to get cleaned up. I mean, if you look at a guy like Barrett, if I'm Barrett, outside of the four turnovers, I don't change anything. I thought he was once again like, and
26 points.
you got you got people like my boy was like, oh, that's the RJ Barrett I know. In the second half, when things started going bad,
But they ain't lying. They ain't
it's
lying
just
though.
like, but
During
at
the
the
regular
same time, it's
season,
like,
that's how RJ Barrett played.
but let me tell you why that bothers me though, because this guy has come out the last four games and balled,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Like, I don't know. I just feel like at some point he's doing it
Give
in the
him a break.
playoffs in one of the probably the heaviest jersey in the league, and he's performing at the level he's performing at the last four games. Like, when do we kind of save that? Like, and unless he throws up a 2 for 12 clunker, like, can we leave that narrative alone? Like, that kid. balled today.
but
He
but
balled, bro.
but the comment isn't it isn't it's not a bad comment because in the fourth quarter, it reminds
Mm,
me of the regular season. But in the postseason, in the playoffs, yo, RJ's been playing out his mind. He wasn't playing like this during the regular season. So when they
nah,
if someone says, "Oh, the fourth quarter, that's the RJ Barrett," I know it makes sense. I can understand that. But
I guess maybe I'm just not that petty.
no, and you shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like your team lost, and you know if we need to find someone to blame, you could easily say, okay, fourth quarter RJ, but it doesn't matter because it was a team effort, and the team didn't get it done. So you know whatever. But it you know I kind of feel the same way because when I was watching him, he was doing a lot of the silliness like running, like driving to the hole, taking bad layup shots that had no chance of making it whatsoever,
Like
hoping to get a foul.
the one where he like throws
Yeah. What is that?
it.
He really thought he was gonna get a foul, and then he's just like, "Yo, where's the foul?" Like, I hate that
Like you,
basketball. I hate that basketball.
yeah, and the problem with that is
Obi
you
was in the
can't.
corner. I mean, not Obi. Quickly was in the corner. You could have kicked it out. You didn't hear the
Yeah,
whistle. You don't stop playing until you hear the whistle. I
you
mean,
know what the problem is too, bro.
what's that?
You can't expect to get a call when you're because he was kind of like driving across the lane.
Yeah,
He wasn't driving like to the rim. Like you get calls usually when you attack,
yeah,
right? And the reason why he got to the line so much, even today, he got to the line 8 times,
yeah.
and why he was getting to the line in those games in Cleveland, 3, 4, and 5, was because he was attacking the
That's
rim,
right. He was
right?
actually
Like
trying to score.
attacking through the rim. Like when you that shot that he took over his head, he's like going across the lane and he just tosses it up.
Kick,
Like you're
kick
not
that
gonna get a
out.
call. You're not gonna get a
Exactly.
call running away from the rim, shooting a layup
Exactly. Exactly.
over your head, bro. They're just
Yeah.
not gonna give that to you.
He ran a slant play. I was like, this ain't football.
Yeah, he
Like
really did, though. He really did. But
I
I don't wanna shit on him because I
no,
outside of
no.
like
But that was a
even the
terrible
one
play.
turnover, even the one turnover that he had one turnover where he passed it to Josh Hart, and I don't know what Josh Hart was doing. I felt like Josh Hart should have caught the pass,
Oh yeah, yeah. Like
but he didn't.
he dribbled it in, but it still rolled out. It was weird.
Yeah,
I couldn't really see
but
what happened.
That was RJ's turnover. But I
Yes.
don't think that was necessarily RJ's fault.
No. No.
If you want to
Well,
say if you want to say the pass was kind of a grenade, okay, but you still got to catch it though. It was
yeah, yeah.
thrown to you.
He second guessed it. But I think when he turned away the first time, it got Josh to say, okay, you're not passing it. Let me move, in.
Mhm.
And so RJ said, okay, nah, I don't want to go this way. He turned back and he didn't really give him eye contact. He just kind of threw it in that direction because he still was kind of there. So
Yeah,
Josh now had to turn back to where he was, just moving from, and he just couldn't control it. So I
yeah,
can understand, but no, yeah, I think you're right. I think it should have been more Josh Hart because he did touch the ball, or did
yeah.
he? I can't really remember.
He
I
touched
felt like
it. He
he did,
touched it,
right?
but it looked like you know what it looked like because like you were saying, like he started to like do what
Move
Josh
away
Hart
from
does,
it.
right? He's probably going to crash to the glass or something like
Right.
that, looking for a shot. So when RJ threw the pass, like his feet got tangled up a little bit because then he's trying to like pivot and turn back.
Exactly.
But I'm just like, oh,
Yeah,
God,
and
guys, you
it was
guys
in
just
crunch
look,
time where we just I think we had just got a
yes.
turnover. We just got
It's
and we
like
were
you
like, "All right,
guys
this is
look
how you
so
chip
bad.
away." Yeah, that one was a rough one. But
Like I'm trying to see. I'm looking at the play-by-play. I'm trying to see exactly
let me
what
see if I could
happened.
find
Like,
a video, and then maybe I could share it. Because if Barrett got the turnover, I could definitely find it. But yeah, it was a weird pass.
see.
I think it was this one right here. Let me see. Yeah, yeah, I got it. Let me see if I could share the screen now. Can you see my screen?
Nah,
Hmm. What about now?
no.
Hey. All right. I think that's because I don't have the control. All right. I got it, but let me see.
RJ's in second round the playoffs and people talk smack. They better use him. He's not going anywhere. Yeah, I mean, I guess let people talk, I guess. But it is a little bit annoying at the same time.
When you say RJ is in the second round of the playoff and people talk smack, they better get used to him. He's not going anywhere. I mean, yeah, it's playoff basketball. When the team loses, people got to say something.
Yes, they do.
Did he
If
play the
I'm
fourth
looking,
quarter? I
no
think he
no
got a couple
wonder
minutes.
I'm such an idiot
What happened?
because I'm looking for this RJ like that play,
Yeah.
but I'm looking at the first quarter.
Oh, yeah. Definitely fourth quarter. It's the only turnover he got in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
So
it was the fourth quarter.
it says everyone's in
That and
second
the other
round.
turnover, the other turnover was the moving screen, which I don't know what he was doing on that play. And then he had the nerve to argue. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
you literally jumped into him with your shoulder.
Oh, and that's the next question I wanted to ask you. I think that's what I was going to ask before. How do you think the
Mhm.
officiating was?
I thought it was not good. Tony Brothers was on some Tony Brothers bullshit.
I don't think it was. I
Um,
don't think it was
I
terrible
don't.
tonight. But
Yeah, it
yeah,
wasn't egregious to the point like that. That was why the Knicks lost. But
right.
I mean, Tony Brothers is going Tony Brothers, bro. Like it is what it is, right? You got to deal with that. And I felt like the Heat dealt with it better than the Knicks.
Yeah. There was two plays that. Well, there was one play that led to a jump ball, but there was another play that they said should have been a jump ball. Do you agree?
Oh, the Josh Hart one. It was Josh Hart where
I
he
think
he he
so.
was at half court and he left his feet to throw a pass,
Yes,
and they
yes,
called a foul.
yeah, yeah.
Do
You
I do
believe
I
that was a
agree that that
foul?
should have been? No, it was not a
It
foul.
should have been a
they
jump ball,
bailed
right?
they bailed Josh Hart out, bro.
That's what I thought. But I was just like, hey, we got this one. And I think that's why they gave uh Lowry the foul on the next play because they were like, yo, we owed this one to you.
But
Because
even that was like he legit tied Brunson up though. I mean, if
yeah.
we're being
No,
honest.
not the second jump ball. I mean, there was a foul that he got, I think, the very
Oh, I
next
see what you're
play.
saying.
And I think they gave
Gotcha.
him that one because they're like, oh yeah, you guys were right.
Gotcha.
Because the crowd, they were cursing out the ref.
Yeah, so it was with 2:53 left when RJ threw that pass. Kyle Lowry had just hit that baseline fadeaway to make it a 10-point lead. And then you're still looking at the time, right? You're like, okay, it's 2:53, like it's
You
10
still got a little bit
points.
of time.
It's not impossible as long as you got to
Yeah,
play perfect the rest of the way almost. But it's not out of the
exactly.
question.
Right.
Um, I mean, it felt out of the question. Like 10 points felt like 20 tonight, right? Because the Knicks couldn't hit threes. So
They couldn't
10
even hold
points.
on
When
to
they
the
got
possession of the ball though.
it was one point, the Knicks got down by 8, and I was just like, this feels
Yeah,
like a massive uphill climb with
yeah,
the way they're shooting the ball tonight.
yeah. Exactly. I was like, I
It
think this
felt
was.
like it felt
I didn't
like
watch it
being
last
down
night.
by you know what it felt like? It felt like being down by 8 in 1994, bro.
Mm.
Like you down
Same.
by 8 in 94, bro.
Yeah,
It feels so hard to get back. Like an
yeah,
8-point lead now is nothing, right?
yeah.
Team score 8 points in what 2 minutes, 1 minute.
It's true because we
Like,
were down 8 earlier in the quarter, and then I think we called the timeout. We came back, we hit a jump shot, and then we hit a three, and we was right back in the game.
yeah.
So I was just like, oh, there we go. But then all hell broke loose after that. So
So one person I want to highlight is Emmanuel quickly, bro.
not his best game.
Like I felt like maybe they found something in game 5 of that Cavs series. He looked a lot better. Didn't shoot great, but a lot of that came at the end of the game where everybody was kind of shooting like terrible towards the end. The Knicks weren't really scoring at the end of that game. It's just the Cavs were so bad it didn't matter.
Yeah,
But Quickly shot 5 of 15 in that game, but he made some shots early, and you were like, all right, this is the Quickly that we know. You were looking for him to kind of pick up where he left off, and
Yeah.
it just wasn't there again today, man. Now, Obi didn't play in the fourth quarter.
He didn't get any minutes?
I don't know if he got any minutes. I know he didn't play much though.
He played Josh Hart. I
Like I
know
know,
he was in a
yeah,
little
I
bit.
know I know at one point he came out. It was either the end of the third or like the beginning of the fourth or early in the fourth. And he never came back.
Mm.
But I think it was. I
What
don't
up,
think he
Snoop?
played in the fourth at all.
What up? What up? Salute.
I could. That's another thing you could just look that shit up.
Why can't I stream? Why can't I share my screen? It says that I'm sharing it. Hmm.
IQ on another planet. Yeah, I mean, like the Knicks desperately need this guy to. Yo, everybody's life is so much easier if he snaps out of it.
Yeah.
He had a. I think it was it you that pointed it out? No, it was somebody in the TFE live thread. I thought it was somebody in the group chat, but it was a TFE live thread. Somebody pointed out that Quickly had a layup on one play. I don't know if you guys seen that. It might have been the second or third quarter. Quickly had a layup, and instead of him, or like a floater, and instead of him shooting it, he kicked it out to Obi for three.
Mm.
And it's just like, bruh, if we're gonna have a chance, like you need to be aggressive.
Yeah. But I don't blame him. Get Obi going, knocked on them threes. Because if Obi's in the corner, I'm passing this one. Because
It wasn't in the corner. It was above the break. But like I'm not mad at him for the play, just to be clear, right? Like he was trying to make an unselfish play. You can't
yeah,
really be mad at that. But I guess my thing is like we need you to be, especially with Julius out, like you need to be aggressive. You need to look for your shot, bro.
exactly.
So that's my thing. So to see him like pass that up, I'm just like, come on, man, like, shoot the rock, bro. But we need your points. Tips played IQ over Obi. Yeah, I don't really know why Quickly was in there. I didn't agree with that. I don't agree with that, but there was some things I didn't necessarily agree with. The Knicks being me and Ricky talked about it before a lot of you guys got here, but I didn't necessarily agree with like the Knicks are desperate for shooting, and we don't know because the Knicks don't tell us anything. But we don't know if Grimes was available to play big minutes or not tonight. But like he didn't. He we needed shooting, and he just wasn't in there. So yeah, I mean, Tibbs will never tell us anything.
Are you able
You
to
know
see
what I
my screen
mean?
right now?
I still can't see it, bro.
Dang, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna give up next time. But
Yeah,
I have the exact play.
that was a killer too, Jose. The 4 point play, like you gotta, yeah, quickly he's got to get his head in the game. And the thing about that 4 point play is, and I mean we've seen him foul jump shooters before, like it happens, but just like the timing of when it happened was just like, come on, because you look at quickly as one of the smarter players on the
Yeah.
team. So Miami's in the middle of a run, and then he commits that foul. He fouls the guy shooting the three. It just was a bad look, man. And at a time where they were like really gaining momentum, like that was not something that you wanted to give them.
Yeah.
What else we got going on in the chat?
But they're gonna grow from this. Like I don't think they're gonna play
Tune, what's
another
good,
game like
baby?
this.
IQ on another planet. I mean, listen, man, don't be pissed. Like it's game one. I mean,
It wasn't a
you wanna
blow.
win. Yeah, you wanna win game one. You
Want to win at home for sure.
you don't want to give up home court advantage, especially not in the very first game. But at the same time, like it happened. So now these guys got to do what we've seen them do all year, and that's bounce back. Yeah, Jose, 12 or 20 from the free throw line
Yeah,
tonight.
and if it's 20 for 20, the game's over. That's game.
Yeah, I mean, you don't. I mean, I guess you would like for them to make them all, but when you got Mitch on your team,
Yeah,
you're
not
probably
getting
not
it.
gonna make them all.
I don't
But
know why
yeah, I mean,
he doesn't just arc his shot a little bit more. He doesn't shoot terrible. He just shoots it flat. He put a
yeah, that's
little
the
arc
thing,
on
right?
that.
He
He got
shoots it
it.
like straight, like it's
Yeah,
online. You know what I mean? So I think it was Wally Zerbiak, right? Wally Zerbiak, who was a shooter, he said that good shooters miss long or short, like they don't miss left or right. Like Mitch doesn't often miss left or right. It's
yeah, it's very
usually
rare.
short or long, mostly short because he don't put nothing on it as far as like art. Like
There
only
was
one allowed them is
one
foul
play he
shots to
got
Mitch.
fouled. He got fouled on the dunk, Mitch, and he missed the dunk. And I was just like, man,
Yeah, that was unallowed. Kyle
yeah,
Lowry fouled him,
you can't miss that. I
and I
think
don't know if you've seen him when he missed it. You could see his face. He's like,
yeah, because now you got to shoot 2 free throws, and you know that's not your thing. So it's just like make that
yeah,
dunk.
yeah, man. So I didn't even look. What was he tonight? He was
What from the line?
one of four from the line tonight.
Yeah.
1 of 4 from the line, and then I mean it was really him and RJ are the main culprits, right? He's 1 of 4. RJ's 5 of 8.
Jalen missed one, and Grimes missed one. Quickly was perfect from the line, but he only got there once.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like it's so much stuff, right? Like quickly being kept off the line, where he got to the line a lot during the season. Like all of these things, right? Where I felt that, and this might be youth, Ricky, which is another thing that I said. I did a live stream on Facebook on the Frozen Envelope the other day, and I just went through like some of the things that I was nervous about, and I still had the same feelings about the shooting that I had before the playoffs started. But one of the things I also said was like Miami is what you seen from Cleveland, like how they were kind of like you could tell that they were 100% bothered by like the moment, right? And like they were rattled by MSG and just rattled by the Knicks in general. Um, this team's not going to get rattled. You know what I mean? Kyle Lowry, NBA champion.
Yeah.
Kevin
Jimmy
Love,
Butler,
NBA champion.
yeah,
Jimmy Butler has been in several deep playoff runs, as have a lot of this team. This team's been together. Bam, right?
yeah.
Been in
And
long playoff
Gabe Vincent,
runs.
he's no slouch.
Gabe Vincent.
He looks like he's made for the playoffs.
Yeah, but it also helps that like they've made deep runs, this team. And Gabe Vincent was part of that team. Last year they
And they
made it to
did
the
take
Eastern
out
Conference
the number
Finals.
1 seed. So I mean,
Yeah.
they, a lot,
And
some of that is coaching, but a lot of that is these guys playing well together.
To me, the player of the game tonight was Kyle Lowry. Like he had the one play, and we didn't talk about it here. I'm mad that we've been on almost 45 minutes and I haven't mentioned it. So remember, it was 97-94. This was like after the whole Butler thing where he sprained the ankle. He hit 2 free throws, put him up 94-92. I think the Knicks scored. Brunson, I think, scored. Cut it back to 3. And then Miami comes down and misses. Mitch grabs the rebound.
Yeah.
And Mitch does what Mitch does. He makes himself small. Lowry pokes it away, gives the Heat another possession, and that's when Gabe Vincent hits the 3 to push the lead. To me, that was the biggest play of the game. Yeah. The Kyle Lowry poke away, and then Vincent subsequently hits the 3, pushes the lead back up to 6. To me, Knicks never recovered after that. Right. Like that was the game. And Kyle Lowry obviously forced the jump ball with Brunson, then won the jump ball.
Yeah. At that point, when they won the jump ball, I said to me, all right, this game is over.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And like I said, we talked about the baseline fadeaway that Lowry hit. Lowry did so many big things in this game, man. It's not even funny.
He did. I don't think that's going to happen too much. I'm not a big Lowry fan, so I don't speak highly of him.
I like Kyle Lowry. I think Kyle Lowry is a gamer. I think Kyle Lowry is playoff tested and battle tested in these moments. And I think that this is something that the Knicks are gonna have. Knicks are gonna have to overcome their naivety and their youth and their lack of experience against this team. Because even though this team is shorthanded, even though when you look at the sum of their parts, it doesn't look like that much.
Yeah.
Like I said, these guys all been there. Cleveland looks really stupid letting go of Kevin Love.
Yeah.
Don't know what they were thinking because they could have used that guy in that series, man.
Yep.
So and we seen it tonight.
But Lowry, I don't know. Like, to me, he just seems like he just does. He does a lot of things for the like that poke away and stuff like that. He does a lot of stuff like that, but like you don't really see him. Well, I don't usually see him as a scorer. So like to see him knock down jump shots over Jalen Brunson, to me, I was just like, man, that's not gonna happen that much.
Hold on, whoa. You don't see him as a scorer?
Nah, I don't.
I mean, this guy's an all-star, bro. I mean, obviously he's at an advanced stage of his career, but he's an all-star. Like, he's been there and done that. I lose my co-host?
No, I'm here.
So yeah, I can't say that, Ricky. I can't say that. I mean, the guy could score.
Like I said, I don't think very highly of Lowry, so I'm not gonna speak positive of him.
You might think very highly of him after this season.
Nah, I don't think I will, but we'll see. I don't think he's gonna play phenomenally much longer. Like I feel like even when Miami got him, he was already 1 foot out of the league. So I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
You know what? He didn't have a great season. From what I understand from Miami fans, a lot of Miami fans turned on him during the season.
Wow.
But these moments right now, Ricky, these moments, he's built for it, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He makes smart plays. He tricks the refs a lot of times with what he does. So like I know he's capable of doing good things for his team, but I'm not a big fan of his.
I didn't even realize that, Jose. That's crazy.
What's that?
Larry had 4 block shots.
Did he really?
Yo, Kyle had himself a game, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not gonna play like this the entire series. So I'm glad he had a great game.
I hope you're right.
I'm glad.
You want to know? You know why I hope you're right? I hope you're right because he's basically kind of stepped into the role of Tyler Hero in a way, right?
Right.
So they sorely are going to miss Tyler Hero in the series. But if Kyle could kind of duplicate what if Kyle could duplicate what Tyler was giving them, that's not good for the It's not good for the Knicks, bro.
I'm not worried about it. He can't do that. What I was surprised about is Duncan Robinson not hitting any shots.
Yeah, he couldn't buy a basket.
I was just like, we should have this game. He's not hitting anything.
But to be fair, Duncan's
long, but
you know what's crazy though, bro? It's funny you mentioned Duncan Robinson. You know, Duncan Robinson shot 72% from 3 in the Bucks series.
That's what he does.
But here's the crazy part about it though. Like we say that's what he does. The last 2 years, he's been terrible, bro. since he got paid, I mean, he's been in and out of the rotation. I think he shot. This is a guy who you view like as a 40% 3-point shooter, right? Like in your head, I think he shot under 35% the last 2 years. He's been horrible since he got paid. So which Duncan Robinson is Duncan Robinson? You know what I mean? Is it the 0 for 5 Duncan Robinson we have tonight? Is it the guy who shot 70% from 3 in the Bucks series? Obviously, the right answer would probably be somewhere in the middle, right?
Yeah.
You're hoping somewhere closer.
I'm hoping it's like tonight for the rest of the season, if you ask me. But I do expect him to knock down some 3-point shots. If not, Gabe Vincent will take it happily. That dude, he comes up clutch. I watched him in the Buck series. He comes up clutch.
Yeah, he's fearless. He's fearless,
Yeah,
bro.
he likes those moments.
It's just so. I mean, I was about to say something, but I'm not going to.
Okay,
Nope,
don't do it.
not gonna
Don't do
say
it.
it.
Don't do it. I ain't gonna
But
force you neither.
but it is frustrating to see. Trying to think of a way to say this without sounding complimentary. The fact that the Miami Heat can come out and do what they're doing and do what they've done so far in the postseason is beyond like reproach. Like it doesn't really make sense that a team with 8 undrafted players can do what they're doing without a guy who averages 20 points per game for them is one of their main, lead ball handlers. I just feel like it wouldn't be good if the Knicks lost this series. Let's just put it that way.
Well, no.
Like whatever happened in Milwaukee happened to Milwaukee. Right. I don't care what happened to Milwaukee, right? Because I watched that series. I don't feel like Milwaukee bought it in that series. I felt like Milwaukee played like a bunch of suckers.
Yeah.
These Heat fans that are saying like Heat in 5 are obviously they feel that way because they just beat the number 1 team in the NBA.
First seed, you know what I mean?
So they not just the first seed, like the best record in the NBA. You know what I mean? Like the undisputed number 1 seed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they should feel that way, but at the same time, it's like I'm looking like how thin are they? You know what I mean, bro?
Yeah.
Like how thin is this roster, bro?
If you look at the Miami Heat, do they look like NBA Finals championship team?
They don't look like a second round team on paper.
This is what I'm saying.
It's madness, bro.
This is what
they're doing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like Spoelstra's a hell of a coach.
Yes.
The Knicks are incredibly green, which is something that I think after watching today's game needs to be factored in. They look green. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Against
a team that is very seasoned, bro. And I don't know, the Knicks just got to figure out a way to overcome whatever inexperience they have and play to whatever level that they need to play to their ceilings. And I mean everybody, right? Like Quentin Grimes needs to at some point have a coming out party. Because he's the guy who, when I think about the Knicks 3-point shooting, that's the first. He's the first guy that comes to my mind.
Yeah, for sure. But again, you got to give him a little bit of cushion because he is coming off an injury. And I want to say what Jose just said. Butler is a player. I was listening to an interview of Jeff Teague when he was on Minnesota, and Jimmy he had the third string players on his team against the starters, and he spanked them. And then the second string came in, he spanked them too. Right?
Yeah, I heard it. That's everybody knows it, but this is like a story of like folk legend.
Yo, but Jimmy, he wants to win, and he's gonna find a way to win. So give it like they got an excellent coach. You got a player in Jimmy Butler, and he's gonna do what it takes to win. And like you said earlier, and you said correctly, they have experienced players on their squad who's been there before. You have champions on the team. You know what I mean? So it's not unbelievable what they're doing, but they really shouldn't be doing what they're doing.
I guess when you look at, and I'm not just talking record either, when you look at the entirety of their regular season, they finished with a negative net rating. Like they're the worst 3-point shooting team in the league, or one of.
Playing is how they got to the playoffs, man.
And then like all of a sudden, not so much tonight, right? They only shot 33% from 3, but they shot 42% from 3 in the Buck series. Like, how do you get so hot?
Playoff basketball is different basketball. And
Bro,
I think
Jimmy
that's why a
Butler.
lot of people say the regular season doesn't matter. A lot of people believe the regular season does not matter. You play your games just to position yourself in the playoffs, but then everything changes in the postseason. So I get it.
Yo, Jose Garcia.
You're getting the ball. Very cohesive.
Yo, Jose Garcia. So I agree with you, right? He said Butler's a player. If he passes the ball, if Randall passed like Butler, we'd be much better off. So I agree with you, but I mean, we've seen games where shit. Look at Game 5 before he went down. Like he was well on his way to a triple double in that game.
Yeah.
Julius. I mean, he had 13, 6, and 4 before the injury. So I locked in Julius, like the one that was locked in Game 5, and I locked in Barrett, which we currently already have. Like the ball will get sprayed around. The Knicks gotta make shots though, bro. Like I can't
they gotta knock
stress
down shots.
this enough. Shots must be made at some point.
Got to.
Like this 20% nonsense that's been going on in the postseason. I just have to believe. I have to believe that percentages do not work like this. And at some point, something's going to have to give.
Yeah.
The same way Miami wasn't the third worst or whatever they were, three-point shooting team in the NBA during the regular season. And now they've gotten hot, right? At some point, this has to change, right? Like that, it only makes sense. Either it doesn't change or these guys are really this tight with their shooting that they're just incapable of making shots in the playoffs. It's one or the other.
Right. I
guess time will tell as the series goes along. I still think the Knicks are going to win this. I had Knicks in 5. I don't think that's the case anymore because I don't think we're going to win 4 straight. But I still like the Knicks in 6 or 7. I like the Knicks winning this series still. You know what I mean? I still feel that way. What happened today didn't change my mind.
You said it didn't change your mind?
No, what happened today didn't change my mind. I still think the Knicks win this series. We've seen this team lose. We've seen this team lose games and bounce back. You know what I mean? And
yeah, third quarter was garbage.
I mean, yeah, the third quarter was the quarter that got us, right? Yeah, and absolutely. oftentimes it is.
It is.
We lost the third. We lost the third quarter by 11 points.
Yeah,
like awful. That can't happen. But we won the first by 11 points. I mean, listen, you know what's crazy though, bro? So in that second quarter, right? Obviously, the Knicks were kind of like teeter-totter in between like a double-digit lead, and then it would like be down to 6, go back to 10, down to 6. The Knicks had so many opportunities to kind of distance themselves from Miami in the second quarter. Like, how many times did they throw the ball away on a fast break, which is becoming a thing, by the way? Or like have like a golden opportunity to score and not score. Like, I just felt like I had to go back and watch again because, I mean, the game happened, several hours ago, and a lot of shit happened to me today. But we'll talk about that off air. It's another rough 48 hours, bro. But so I had a lot on my mind. So as I'm watching the game, I'm still thinking about like all of the shit that I'm gonna have to deal with in this upcoming week. Doesn't feel good. So I can't remember the game like I normally would remember the game, but there were multiple plays in that second quarter specifically where I'm just like, ooh, like we're up. It feels good to be up, but like, what an opportunity, man. Like, so many of those in the first quarter, in the first half.
Trying to find. There we go.
And I'm looking.
We lost the second quarter and the third quarter.
And the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter, I mean, one point difference. But But and I think I said this on one of the shows. When the Knicks get an early lead, it makes me the most nervous because they have the rest of the game to lose that lead. I like it when they have a short lead and they slowly build on it throughout the game, because then you can see that they figured out what they need to do, and then just building on it. And then they're using their defense to help their offense, and it's a slow win. And that's how we beat the Cavs. So when they went up 11, what was it, 12, 11 points in the first quarter, I was just like, I don't like this early lead stuff. I really don't. But don't get me wrong, I love a 30-point quarter. I think if they can make every quarter 30 points, it's a win.
Come on, Jose. Like, you're better than this, bro. He said he should always play with a bad ankle so he could pass.
Nah. You don't want that. You want him to be aggressive. You want him.
My thing is like, I don't know. I guess this notion that he doesn't pass bothers me a little bit. It's not sitting true. Right with me, bro. It is. He is such a willing passer, bro.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like he doesn't always.
The Reggie Bullock days, man. He used to always kick it out to Reggie Bullock, and then when the Frenchman came, he was to always try to find him. And if Grimes was more of I shouldn't even say that, but if Grimes was open more, he would find Grimes for the shot. So I mean, I think he's a very willing passer.
Yeah, he doesn't always make the right decisions. Let's just make that clear. But it's not like I don't think that it's like on some like, and sometimes it is, right? Because I feel like star players got to have like a little bit of ego.
Yeah.
But it's not always like, oh, I'm going to just go get mine no matter what, right? Now, there are those possessions. Shit, even Brunson has those possessions.
Brunson does that so many times.
Where you know he's not passing, right? Exactly. On that possession.
I hate that.
So I don't have an issue with my stars calling their number every now and then, but I mean, you just got to mix in some passing too. I think Julius, for the most part, does a good job of it. I'm not gonna sit here and slam Julius.
Yeah. I don't think it's true that he doesn't try to pass. I don't think that's true.
He's a more willing passer than and I hate to say it because I love the guy, but he's a more willing passer than Melo was.
Yeah.
Like Melo dead ass told Iman Shumpert. Iman Shumpert talked about this in an interview where he asked Melo, like, yo, bro, why you pass me the ball? And Melo told him, because I worked on that shot. I've taken that shot in practice 1,000,000 times. And I feel better about that shot than whatever shot you thought you were going to get.
Exactly. Yo, you know how many games Shumpert had where he didn't hit any shots? Why the heck would Melo pass him the ball? Like, of course. Absolutely not. But Shumpert does also say that Melo was one of the best teammates he ever had. So how does that work?
Listen, Melo believed in what he was doing out there. I'm not mad at a guy for having like the utmost confidence.
Absolutely.
But if we're gonna talk about a guy who didn't necessarily always want to give up the ball, like Melo didn't always necessarily want to give up the ball.
Yeah. A lot of NBA players don't want to give up the ball. Everybody feels that. I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of these star players have that mentality where they don't see a bad shot. Like Kobe used to get so much flack for that, but like Kobe was Kobe. You know what I mean? Like, why would he pass the ball?
And Kobe believed the same thing. Kobe believed, I practiced this shot so many times that it's a better shot for me than that shot will be for you.
Absolutely.
I guess I don't think there's anything wrong with having a little ego. That's all. Melo, he said, reporter asked Obi if he was surprised he didn't play the fourth. Obi said no. Obi's gonna always say the right thing, though. I mean, I think he was surprised he didn't play the fourth because he was one of the best players out there.
Don't listen to what Obi says with his words. Listen to what Obi says with his face, his eyes, how he says it. Like, if he shrugs right before he says it, he's lying. I watched a couple of Obi interviews and I could tell when he actually means what he's saying and when he's just trying to say the right thing. And I think as a professional, you got to say the right thing. But of course, he didn't want to. He wanted to be out there.
Yeah,
everybody on that team want to play.
Like, bro, Obi was, I thought, pretty good defensively. Had some great contests on threes. I think Jose Garcia even pointed that out in the chat earlier. Had some great contests on threes. I thought he was, like I said, he was the only starter that didn't have a negative plus minus. He played really well, bro.
Well.
And King was in here saying 4 for 11 is horrible. It's not horrible. It's about league average.
Look,
like league
if
average
King says it, then you know it's the opposite of the truth. That's just how he is, man. He's still saying that we should get Peyton back. I'm like, what? Like, not you discredit everything you say when you start talking about what's his name?
Alfred Payton.
Yeah, Alfred, you lose all credibility when you start talking about getting him back on
Ricky don't even want to remember the name.
Yo, I mean, don't get me wrong.
Ricky wants to forget.
He had his thing. He was a very good defensive player, but when it comes to offense, he wasn't there. So, it just what it is, man.
Yeah, nice. I know Iheart was a positive, but Obi was the only starter that wasn't negative. Iheart was the only positive outside of Grimes in the game.
Obi need to
Toppin wasn't.
Obi cuts all the time though. He just don't get the ball. They don't trust him yet. They don't trust him in the cutting because he doesn't finish well. Hart finishes well around the rim, which is surprising tonight how he played. Because I don't think he did. Because I saw him drive and he kind of slowed his pace up, which he never really does. He usually goes full steam and he finishes around the rim. But he didn't really do that tonight. Yeah, and Hartenstein didn't really play like himself today either. So, like, it's a lot of these small things that I feel contributed to the lack of us winning tonight. I'm not even going to say a loss, but the lack of us winning tonight. And I don't think Game 2 is going to be anything like tonight.
Hey, yo, Ricky, you know what's crazy? Listen, bro, when I'm wrong, man, am I wrong?
What are you wrong about?
I damn sure said Cavs in 6, right? But
yeah,
one thing that I say, and it kind of played out tonight, I don't know what's going to happen moving forward. But one thing I said was I wasn't crazy about Josh Hart in the starting lineup. And one of the reasons why I wasn't crazy about it was because I don't feel like, and we'll see what happens with Grimes moving forward in the series, but the spacing is just not great when Josh Hart is in the starting lineup because he would rather not shoot that shot. You know what I mean? Like, he could take the shot, he can make the shot, he's a capable three-point shooter, but it's not his game. He had one where he was open and he missed it. He missed all the threes he shot tonight. But he had one where he was open and you could see he kind of looked first to pass, but then it was just like, you kind of have to shoot it, bro. Like, nobody's even running at you. And he shot it and he missed. And it was just like, can we survive against this team who's going to make some threes in Miami with this level of spacing?
Yeah.
And I don't know, bro. Like, I've said, I got my Joe-isms. And one thing that I always say is everybody's where they're supposed to be. Right? And Quentin Grimes is supposed to be in the starting lineup. And Josh Hart is supposed to come off the bench.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're treating him with kid gloves because he just got back from injury and they'll ease him back into being a starter.
That's what I believe.
I sure hope that Quentin Grimes is in the starting lineup, especially when Randall gets back.
Yes.
Because
and I tell you, just him being back will change so much.
Yeah. But Randall and Grimes are like such a perfect match together, right? Because Randall draws so much attention. And he's really good at like just holding the ball. And like, these guys start to creep a little bit off of Grimes and then he'll just throw like a quick pass. And Grimes got the quick trigger.
Yep.
So yeah, to me they're a perfect marriage. And when he does get back, I need to see them both in the starting lineup again. It just works better, man.
Yeah, it does. It does. Plus, Quentin Grimes belongs in the starting lineup because of how great he is on both ends of the floor. Not to take away anything from Obi, but Obi is not as good of a defensive player as Quentin Grimes. And
No.
that's not saying anything insulting. It's just the truth.
Nice said, I see. I guess he was referring to my plus minus comment.
See,
should have been Deuce should have been in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I never really know when Deuce should be in the game, to be perfectly honest. I like Deuce too.
I love Deuce, but I didn't really feel like this was a Deuce game, right?
You know what I'm saying? You know what?
The only reason I
never really feel that there is a game that is a Deuce game. Like I never know when to play him either. So
there were times in the Cleveland series, like when Randall was out, right, and he was part of the 9-man rotation or 8.5-man rotation, whatever you want to call it. But I was like, we could use a minute or so here from Deuce. Like they got these small guards that like to run wild off screens and stuff, and like it's a great matchup for Deuce, right? Because they like to come off picks and stuff, and he's great at getting skinny around screens. Like that was it tonight, though. With the way Miami was playing defense, I don't feel like the answer was to put like a worse shooter in the game. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't see how. I guess I just don't see how he could have changed the game. This game in particular, but I do remember a game last year. I don't know if you remember this game. Knicks were down, I want to say 16 to the Heat last season. And it was a bench unit of like Quickly, Deuce, Obi, and like, I don't remember who the other two guys were in the court. But they erased the 16-point lead and Tibbs left them in the entire fourth quarter. And they won that game. I believe that game was at the Garden against Miami last year. I don't know if you remember that game or not. And Deuce totally changed that game.
Yeah, but I
don't
know if
it
was last year or the year before. But Deuce was lighting up the G League. Like he was looking.
It was last year.
It was last year. So
he was a rookie last year.
He's capable. So he's definitely capable, and I get it. I was very high on McBride when he came to the team, but he's small. And I think that's his biggest.
Hands down, it's gonna be the biggest pitfall he's gonna have to overcome as an NBA player.
Because he's not a bad shooter. It's just when he plays against other NBA players, his shot is gonna be easier to block. But he's not a bad shooter. Like I think he actually takes good shots.
McBride versus Lowry.
Lowry is experienced as well. He's very tricky. He's very sneaky. I think
Jose Garcia, maybe, but like I don't feel like Lowry killed us in that way. Like he wasn't killing us with like penetration and stuff like that. You know what I mean? If he was like getting into the lane, like play after play, then I could definitely hear like, yo, bring Deuce in and let's shut this shit down. Like Lowry, a lot of the big plays Lowry made, honestly, were on the defensive end. You know, he had the strip off RJ's leg I talked about. He had the jump ball that he forced. He had the poke away from Robinson. And then, you know, he had a shot here and there. He had to step back on the baseline. And then he had a big three, I believe, too.
Yeah, but like really guarded him like that.
He didn't like murder us to me, like offensively. He had 18 points, but like we didn't lose because Kyle Lowry like lit us up. So I don't know, bro. Like I felt like the defense on Lowry was fine. I don't feel like we needed McBride to like come in and cool him off. He wasn't on like it's not like he was on a heater. You know what I mean? Where we're like, yo, we need to bring somebody in to cool this guy off. Like he's wild. Like it wasn't nothing like that. It's just, so I don't know, man. I just feel like in a game where Miami is just like, screw all your shooters on the perimeter. We're not guarding them. You're going to bring in a guy who shot under 30% from three and say, hey, Deuce, go get him.
Yeah.
I don't know how that translates into a Knicks win.
Knicks fans wilding. It's speaking your language.
Cool. So tell me, I'm glad that somebody said this. So Knicks fans wilding. Tibbs got outcoached today. He needs to make adjustments. And I'm not saying that no adjustments need to be made.
Wait, hold on. First off, shout to you. And Knick fans wilding, friends of the show. Love you guys. But go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, like big shout out to you. Definitely. And I know you guys have been on the show, friends of the show. We appreciate y'all. But I've been having this argument like since the game ended, which is why I'm like, I see like you're saying it now, and it's just like, all right, so what's the adjustment exactly? Like, somebody tell me. Because I seen a Knicks team get wide open shots on offense and shoot 7 of 34 from 3. Like, I feel like there were some things I think Tibbs should have went back to Brunson a little sooner, right? You could say that. Like, Obi should have probably been in the game in the fourth quarter. Wouldn't argue with that. But, like, what adjustments as far as, like, how can he generate more than 101 points for this team if they're going to shoot 20% from 3? If they're shooting under 30% from 3 in the playoffs? The players have to do their part, too. Yeah. Like, Tibbs can't look good if these guys can't make wide open shots. Like, Tibbs can't look good if there are 5 Miami Heat players in the paint and Brunson kicks it out to a wide open shooter and these guys can't make shots. So I hear what everybody's saying, that Tibbs needs to make adjustments, and he will. Right? I have no doubts that he will. There are some things that he can do better. I thought his rotations were a little shaky today, but like, please, somebody give me like what is the holy grail of like adjustments that he could have made tonight. Players have to play, right? Like, Tibbs has a job. His job is to get these guys prepared. Yeah, Brunson needed to be out there a lot sooner than the 5.5 minute mark. That was crazy.
I was like, he's not in the game yet?
Like, it was literally, things were literally unraveling. And I'm like, you got to go back to your guy, bro. Because you don't have the other guy. So you got to ride this dude, bro. Like, you have to. And I don't know how many minutes he played tonight, but it wasn't enough. Yeah. He played 40 minutes. He played 40 minutes. I felt like he played 40 minutes, and I legit felt like he should have played 43. Like, no cap.
Yeah. You need him in the fourth quarter. Butler.
Now that I agree with too. Like, but maybe he should have gone at Jimmy, but they tried to get Jimmy in some actions. I don't know if you noticed.
Jimmy was hiding.
Like,
I don't even know why they still had him in the game though.
There were a few times where it worked. It worked.
He didn't do anything.
He didn't do anything, but they won. But like, I felt like there were a couple of plays where the Knicks, and even in those possessions though, Knicks fans wilding, like where we're like, oh, we should attack Jimmy Butler. We still got like good possessions without attacking him. Like, guys, I can't stress this enough. The Knicks are shooting 25% from 3 in the playoffs. The Knicks have to make shots, man. They have to. Like, they have to. The Heat, we can't allow the Heat to have 5 guys in the paint. I sent Ricky the screenshot. There are 5 Miami Heat players. There are 5 red jerseys in the blue paint, literally. And there are no Knicks players being guarded on the perimeter. Brunson kicks it out, and Josh Hart shoots an absolute brick. 7 for 34, guys. How can Tibbs fix that? Like, that's on the players, man. Like, and you know that I love Coach, bro. And I don't think Coach is perfect. I don't think any coach is perfect. But like, I also believe that like these guys, the players got to perform too. And I feel like Knicks fans, like, we suffer a tough loss, and this is just me trying to give like my level-headed approach, because I feel responsible to do that, right? Because I mean, I know Knicks fans are going crazy. Yeah. Right? And I understand. I completely get it. But for me, I can't go crazy because I feel like I have to be responsible when I talk to you guys. Like, trust me, I want to be just as emotional as you guys are. I really do, man. I want to go crazy. Yeah. I do. But like, I take it serious in the sense of like, I feel like I owe you guys like a level-headed approach to the way I think about the game and the way I seen the game. Yeah. And I seen guys
Smith over here.
Yeah, I seen guys literally just miss shots with nobody within 4 feet of them. And I mean, as NBA players, you think that these professionals could knock down some open shots.
I mean, that is their job.
Like the Knicks got away with it in the Cleveland series, right? Because I mean, Cleveland had, first of all, Cleveland couldn't rebound at all.
Yeah,
and the Knicks won the rebounding battle tonight against Miami. You know what I mean? And I won't say they won the possession battle because they turned it over a lot more. But yeah, man, I just feel like I hear you guys. Tibbs does need to make some adjustments, but
he needs to get his main guys healthy again. Two of his starters were not healthy.
Yeah, and I just feel like
yes,
he can't motivate guys into shooting the ball straight.
Except for Mitchell Robinson, he shoots the ball straight from that foul line all day.
Yeah, it hits the front of the rim though. So I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I'm trying to put a bow on this. Like, I don't think Tibbs needs to reinvent the wheel,
right,
for game 2. Oh, I said that early on in the show, Knicks fan Wildin', that I felt like Grimes should have played more than 10 minutes. Ricky brought it to my attention that like maybe the plan wasn't for him to. Yeah, maybe the plan wasn't ever for him to play more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. We got to hit open shots. If we're not hitting open shots, what are we doing? If we can set up a play where we can get a player open and they not knock it down, what are we doing? Are we only capable of hitting difficult shots? Nah, man, we got to knock down open shots, and that's the end of the story.
Yeah, I mean, I read it again. Now that you're here, Knicks fan, Wildin'. Outside of Obi, he was 4 for 11. I mean, Brunson 0 for 7, Josh Hart 0 for 4, RJ Barrett 1 for 5, Quickly 1 for 4, Grimes 1 for 3. Like that ain't gonna cut it, man.
It's not enough. Like I said, 3 more threes, and this game would have been.
Oh man, the free throws, bro. Like it's
they've been killing us all season.
Yeah, and we talked about that earlier too, Knicks fans, Wildin'. Like the free throws, like you kind of live with Mitch missing free throws, right? But like Barrett 5, it was mostly Mitch and Barrett were like the main culprits, right? They missed 8, and between the two of them, 6 were missed.
Are you
like Barrett 5 for 8? Mitch 1 for 4. I mean, Brunson was fine. He was 3 for 4. Grimes hit 1 or 2 in his one trip, and Quickly was 2 for 2. But yeah, between Barrett and Robinson, like that's what, 6 for 12? 6 for 12 between Barrett and Robinson. That can't be a thing.
No. If you get into the line, you gotta get to the line.
I don't know. You just seen what I seen. Then Dre. Hey, look, Dre, you are incredibly late, bro. If you're watching, you are incredibly late. Like, we trying to put a bow on this thing. It's getting to that. It's getting to the hour and a half mark where we like to call it quits.
My final comment is I am not rattled. I still say Knicks in 6. If you are rattled because we lost one game, then you don't understand how playoff basketball works. Knicks in 6. Once we get our starters back healthy, you're gonna see it's gonna be a huge turnaround. Like after we won game 1 of the Cavs series, everybody was like, "Oh, we taking the chip." Like we big fans love to overreact, and all
you can't.
Is don't
let one. Yeah, don't let one game like. Yeah. So you can't go from we're going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Some people have even jumped out the window and said NBA Finals.
Yeah.
You can't go from that to like, oh my God, the sky is falling after we lose one game.
Exactly.
Like, Hey, Knicks fans. Hey, I say it all the time. I love Knicks fans. I think we're the best fan base. in North American sports, and I don't think it's even close.
That's crazy.
Like I don't think it's remotely close. I think the Knicks are the best fan base in North American sports. Relax, relax.
That's it. That's it. Everything was gonna be okay.
It's one game. If we lose game two, you start biting your nails a little bit. If we go to Miami and drop game 3, then you
no
can
team
start
has
planning
ever come back in the NBA
planning your vacation.
But
yeah,
history still.
I said Knicks in 5. I'm gonna realign that now, especially since dropping game 1. Like because winning 4 straight is it's a tall task.
It's tough, but not impossible.
So, not impossible, no. So I'm gonna recalibrate to Knicks in 6. I do wonder before we go, we didn't talk about this at all. Moving forward in the series, Jimmy Butler is going to go to sleep tonight. That, to me, what my eyes told me, right? When I see an ankle sprain, that was not a little itty bitty ankle sprain.
Yeah.
Like his ankle almost touched the hardwood.
Yeah, his whole thing twisted. He limped
off
the court and limped back onto the court. So I don't know.
He's gonna go to sleep tonight, and I imagine that thing is not going to feel very good in the morning. And he's gonna have to get ready to play a game 2 on Tuesday. This guy is as tough as they come. Tuesday, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Tuesday, the 2nd.
Shoot. I thought the 2nd was.
Yeah, it's between games 2 and 3 is where like they got like a million days off because they play Tuesday and then they don't play again until Friday.
Saturday.
They don't play till Saturday?
It says May 6th, 3:30.
Wow. That's not good.
They were running it differently. I thought they were doing like.
That's going to be a problem for me. My daughter's got a thing on Saturday.
What time?
It's in the evening, but I imagine that the game. I'm going to probably be getting ready.
Got you.
While the game is being played. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. That's why, like, when people were like, I seen somebody say, "Oh, Jimmy might miss games 2 and 3." I'm like, yeah, it's like an eternity off between games 2 and 3.
Yeah.
He's not. I don't think he's missing game 3. It's not out of the question that he misses game 2, though. That shit look bad.
And plus, we get Randall to get a little additional rest. Even though he'll be back for game 2, he'll get some rest in between to rehab his ankle, and we can have a series here, man. So,
yo, Izzy, man. Jose Garcia, the Cowboys and Yankees fans are not even remotely close to Knicks fans. I'm a Cowboys and a Yankees fan. So,
Yankees fans are the worst, actually.
I'm not big on Yankees fans at all. I'm not big on Yankees fans. I think Yankees fans are crybabies and front runners. And I'm a Yankees fan.
Worse.
And I'm telling you what I think of my own. Like I don't think Yankees fans are great fans. I really don't.
They're not. They're spoiled.
But Knicks fans are truly out of this world. Like I just got to experience a night out with Knicks fans on Wednesday when we closed out the Cavs. And let me tell you, yo, it's different, man. Yeah, it's different, man. They're crazy. They're passionate. But if you're talking about biggest fan bases, I don't care how big a fan base is. I said that the Knicks are the best fan base.
Yeah. Think about it. We haven't had a winning season, like a real winning season, in a very long time. And yet, orange and blue skies is everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like we show up, even if we don't even have all the pieces there.
Yo, we was showing up when we had Felton Spencer and and Maurice Endow and all of these dudes. Quincy AC.
I kind of liked him. But yeah, he's not
Quintel
somebody
Woods.
to show up for, man.
Quintel Woods, Clarence Witherspoon. Like,
Word. We were getting
we
all the
was
wise
still, the
players,
garden
man.
was still packed, baby.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Knicks fans are the best fan base in North America. I don't want to say on planet Earth because soccer fans are crazy. But in North American sports, Knicks fans are the best. Don't at me. Don't debate me. I will not have it.
It's just fact. Done. It's fact.
But
anyhow, yo, we appreciate y'all, man, for showing up.
appreciate y'all for coming through.
Live.
Izzy, you were late. Shame on you.
He came with blessings, though, man. He came with blessings. So
he did, but he was. I mean, you can't pop up at the the 125 mark, and I don't. That ain't it, Izzy. Get it together, bro.
We need your a lot earlier than that, man.
For sure. We had, especially like y'all let us down. We had Dante in here just spamming the chat, running amok, man. Running amok, and we needed y'all to drown him out, and y'all wasn't here. But yo, man, we love y'all. Appreciate y'all coming through, man. Yeah. That is it for this episode of the Guard Up Knicks podcast. Once again, I'm with my partner Rick the Ruler. I'm Regular Joe from the Frozen Envelope. Logging off. Peace, love, and orange and blue light.
There you go.